Hey, 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 fitness people. Brent here again with Weightlifting Simplified. Today, I'm coming at you with 3 different deltoid movements. I'm going to show you a cable Y raise on an incline bench, and then I'll jump to a cable standing one arm lateral raise, and then I'll finish off with some cable front raises, again on an incline bench. These movements are going to hit all the deltoid complex, the anterior, the medial, and the posterior. This isn't a complete routine, but it works if you're stretched for time, because it does hit all 3 muscle complexes in the shoulder area. So let's get her done today. I'll see you out there. All right, guys, we're going to start out with a cable Y raise. This is going to hit the medial and posterior delts. I got the bench around 30 degrees, a foot or so behind the cables here. Crossover grip. All right. I lay back and my arms are in this Y position. I already have tension in my delts before I even start working here. Keep your back arched, your shoulders down. Keep those scapulas retracted. A slight elbow bend. Come up about ear level. Slow release. Focus on that stretch. Keep your shoulders down. Keep from driving those shoulders up so it takes the traps out of it. Pinkies to the floor. Slow on the way down, slow eccentric to increase that time under tension. Feel the peak. Milk it down the bench. Big crossover, big stretch. Come up. Squeeze the delts on the way up. Come down in that slow eccentric phase. The majority of the work in this exercise is going to be on that eccentric and in that stretch position. So hold that stretch for a pause. The reason to focus on the negative when performing reps for a longer duration is to increase that time under tension. Hold that stretch. Come up. It's about ear high level, somewhere around there. You don't need to go any higher than that, because that'll take away from the shoulders and put it right into the traps. Just feel the peak and then milk it. Milk it down. Feel that muscle working. Up. Get that stretch. That stretch-mediated hypertrophy, guys. It's scientific fact. Stretch. Feel the peak. You want to increase that time under tension. Really drive the muscle activity. All right, guys, for the second exercise, I'm going to do a cable lateral raise. Arm behind my body. I'm going to grip right here. I want to lean out. Again, this is going to focus on the medial and radial delt. Actually, I want to set this on about just lower than hip height. That's going to keep the correct vector of force. If you go in front, you're going to get a little bit of rear delt involvement. But if you go behind you, so lean out, go out, get that stretch, keep a slight bend in your elbows, put your hips out in front so your butt stays out of the way. Push them forward. In the down angle, I already have constant tension in that down angle. When I raise up to the top, I get complete isolation. Shoulder stays down so the traps do not get involved. I get crazy amount of tension all the way throughout the movement. Again, increasing that time under tension. Keep that elbow slightly bent. Get that stretch behind you. Remember to milk that eccentric. Just keep that shoulder down so you don't involve the trap. The tension is going to stay constant. Isolating that deltoid. Come up again to about your level. You can use a cuff on this too, instead of the handle. It eliminates the emphasis on the grip. If you take the lever from your wrist by using a cuff, it puts it closer to the axis of rotation, putting more tension, using less weight into the tissue. Just keep your form, guys. Go slow. Control your movements. Focus on the stretch. Make every rep count. You got to keep your arm slightly behind you, or that cable is going to drag against you. You don't have to use heavy loads like I'm talking about here. A light load where you can easily get a good contraction, a good stretch, and a nice, easy, slow and controlled eccentric. This is putting extreme stress on the medial deltoid and the posterior, for that matter, and your fairly partial reps. Ah, ah, ah. Oh man. All right, guys. The third exercise here today. Gonna do some cable front raises using an incline bench, about 45 degrees or so. This is obviously for the front delts. I'm using the bench here to keep all the momentum out of the equation. This will provide the correct vector of force for the front delts. Because the weight is coming from behind us at the perfect angle. All right. So raise up about eye level. Come down. Milk that eccentric. Up and squeeze. Slow on the down. Trek right down the bench. Big stretch at the bottom. Raise and squeeze. Slow on that eccentric. Why do we go slow on the eccentric? Creates more time under tension. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's why we're doing this. More motor recruitment, more muscle stimulus. Ah, ah, ah. I like using cables because you can drive more muscle response because your muscles are always on constant tension in the stretch position, and when you come on top, they're always under constant tension. Increasing muscle activation, muscle response, which is going to increase your muscle hypertrophy. So focus on your form, focus on the peak, focus on that stretch, slow down your eccentric, control your movements. That mind-muscle connection, put your mind into your muscle, and just focus on the muscles you're working. This is a big mental game too, guys. You have to really think about what you're doing. And you will see the results of lifting like this. And always do your partials. Just come up as far as you can, but don't stop. Until you can't do it anymore. Wish shoulders are burning. That is just a great cable workout. Just those 3 exercises I did. Wow. Add them in your routines, guys. Try this way out. You can still lift heavy. I'm not saying that. But try this technique. I bet your muscles will respond to it. Well, guys, I hope you found these shoulder exercises helpful. Give them a shot. Really focus on that time under tension, that deep stretch, and strict form. That's how you get the most out of every rep and build strong, well-developed shoulders. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in and supporting the channel. My goal is to simplify weightlifting and help you train smarter and not just harder.